Y'all, I don't know why the internet won't let me be great today. I have no clue why the internet is not wanting to let me be great today. And I'm wondering if it's not the program that I was using because it um, did an update or something crazy like that. So, at any rate, hi. Welcome back. Welcome back. I apologize again. We're going to try this one more again. Um, and you know what? I don't have, let me see. Let me see too. And I'm going to actually, that'll take off the microphone so we don't have to worry about that crazy, irritating microphone noise. So we'll take that off. And we'll take this off because this is irritating to me. Hello, Miss Deborah. How are you? Why is my phone? Don't go fuzzy. All right, now, well, at least this makes me more mobile. That's one good positive thing about switching over to um, trying to do this with the cell phone. I'm more mobile. And it's a little easier for me to get around instead of being tied to the um, desk and making that work when it wasn't really going to work like it was supposed to. Hello, hello, Debbie Kid. All right, you guys. So let's see if we can't get this cookie crumbling. Of course, that's not one to work. So today what we are going to do is we're going to try and make a leather purse today. So being that we're on the phone now instead of on the computer, it's a little bit more difficult for me to see chat somewhat. You know, I have to go and scroll and all that cool stuff. So we're going to actually, I'm not going to really be able to read chat like I normally do. So we'll have to please forgive me on that as well. So at any rate, back to the cruise, so that I don't forget to let you guys know. So if you could, Sheila Cushionberry, I have two. Yes, I did, Will. And now that I am on my phone, it's going to be really hard for me to show that. So that's another crappy situation with this phone, with my internet thing not working correctly. But I wanted to let you guys know, as far as the cruise is concerned, please go to customcraftcruise.com. Pull it up on the laptop and then show it that way. I didn't it's in my text messages, so it's gonna take me a minute. So let me figure that out. But go to custom.com. You go there, address, and then you can get your cruise update information easier. Okay, that is what I really wanted to let you guys know. So at any rate, if you go there, how do you get this thing straight now? Okay, I'm gonna take this one off. I'm buffering on the phone now. Are you serious right now? I swear. It's like rain. It's almost like I can't it doesn't do well when it's raining. That's some BS, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I have good intentions tonight. Work Wi-Fi off. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is on or off on this phone. Give me a sec. Let me get this stupid fixed first, and then I can get us. All right. Cool. All right. Now that I have that, let's see. So it's probably gonna buffer a sec. Me be great. All right. Hopefully Verizon will cooperate. Yes. Oh, yay. Now. Okay. So I got you in the stand. Sorry for all the shaky eating bakey. All right, and I told Will that I would show you guys the update in his studio. Well, the cool thing is I can kind of show you the internet somewhat. I just hate showing a computer screen with a phone. It kind of like sucks in my opinion, but whatever. we gotta make do. So let me show you this first of all. And again, I apologize for the buffering if we do. So here you got Custom Craft Cruises. So that's Custom Craft Cruises. That's our website. So if you go here and you click Ready to Cruise, click here, then that is going to show you where you can enter your email address, and I will email updates to that email address. All right, so that's first step, customcraftcruise.com. All right, customcraftcruise.com. Okay. And second of all, here is the update for Will Studio. So he's been hard at work. Here are some of the images that he showed us yesterday live. He has his pegboard up and his drawers and stuff, and containers and shelves now, which is really cool. His equipment, he's got his computer, starting to bring things over with his desk and getting ready for the show coming up this weekend. So a lot of hard work he's been putting in over there in his little studio, his new studio. Ain't little, it's huge. And getting things together for getting ready to be all completely moved in. So he's got a lot coming up this weekend in preparation for his show. And that is definitely something to look forward to. So yeah, he's been putting in a lot of hours trying to get that taken care of. So alrighty, you guys, so let us get into making this purse and getting everything together. Now again, it may lag. I apologize. I'm like just I'm put out right now over this lag thing, and I think I may have an alternative or something that I'm gonna start doing, but for right now I'm just gonna have to apologize profusely. So all right, let me go. The first step you want to do is purchase your design. All right, and since we have this really cool thing going on with the computer situation, and I can just show it, I'm going to show you guys where the pattern comes from that we're going to be working with. All right, so this is my one. We have a lot of really cool trendy designs. All right, and they have some really cute stuff. Okay, so definitely check them out when you get an opportunity. If you like, you know, some new and trendy things, urban threads, they're really good for trendy embroidery. All right, so I'm gonna go up here and we are going to look up purse, and here are all of their purses that they offer. All right, so this one's a camera. This one is a zipper pouch in the hoop. I absolutely love this one here. This is like absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite designs. Then we have the owl. Then we have the a regular leather purse. And then I saw this today. This is new. I've never seen the fox purse. So this is the one that I chose for us to do today. And here's a zipper pouch in the hoop, and here's another one that's piano. So really cool designs, you guys. So this is the one, the fox, is what we're going to work on today. And they have 3 different sizes. Unfortunately, they do not have a 4x4 friendly purse. Okay, not a purse. They I think do have a zipper pouch that is 4x4 friendly, but as far as a whole purse, this is going to have to be bigger than 4x4. So I apologize in advance for those who, you know, may be restricted to 4x4. But today we're going to work with this one, the 5.87 wide by 8.19 high purse. And when you click on it, you see the cost of that one is $6.99 right now. Okay, and you're looking at 27,000, almost 28,000 stitches with this particular design. So we have our instructions here, and the instructions are generic to most of their purses. They're made about the same. And the way they suggest you put this purse together is you take the paper, print it out with your printer, and then you use that as a template to cut out your shapes in the leather. And they provide what this is called die line. They provide the die lines for you that you just pull up with your printer and print it out. And the way you would send it to your printer, the way they suggest, is to send it through your embroidery software. Okay, so if you don't have embroidery software, there is instructions right here on how to do it with embroidery software and a free trial of, you know, something else. So, but we're not going to do that. We're going to actually use our Cricut today. I'm going to use a Cricut to cut it out. And I'll show you how that works now. All right. So let's start with pulling up the design. I already have it. So we're going to open up Sew It Pro, and I'm going to go up here to where it says open. And here I already pulled it up. Fox pattern. It comes with, what's this, 5 different files. And where you see DL, and DL, these are your die lines. Okay, so there's the front of the purse here. There's the die line for that. Here's the die line for the little D-ring straps. So you'll need 2 of these. And then here's the die line for the back of the purse. All right, and you can see the kind of the fox head shape up here at the top, and the rest of the purse down here. All right, and here is the actual embroidery file. This is the actual embroidery file showing the fox. Here's his tail, and then this is the front of the purse. All right, so what we want to do first, I'm going to show you how to get your cut files for this purse. All right, so we're going to work with the die lines. Am I still spinning? Oh my gosh, I'm just like too through with this. Let me know when I get back and when everything is moving smoothly. Go out and come back may fix the problem. I'm about tired of having to go out and come. I don't know what's going on. You're good, Diana? How about anybody else? Anybody else having issues? Fine for Sheelish and Berry. Okay. All right, so let's go over getting this cut file. So here is the front of the purse. So what you want to do is open your first cut file. And that's this one here. And when you open it with Sew It Pro, it's going to show up as just a black outline. Okay. So this is just a black outline for, stop going in and out, stupid thing. This is just the outline for the front of the purse. Okay. Or was it the back? Can't remember what it said. Front. This is the front. So these guys were gracious enough to give this die line for you to print out, because with Sew It Pro, you can print. You can go file and you can go print and then print this out. But that's not what we want. We want to actually cut this with our cutting machine. So Cricut takes a SVG file. So we'll select this. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to select it. I'm going to click off of it. And here, up here at the top, where it says Save Applique Cutout, this is your applique, where you would take any one of your embroidery lines and turn it into a cut file. So if I just click here. Nothing is selected. It's not selected here. It's not selected over here. And I just click on this little pin. Watch what happens. It gives us an error. It says you must select one or more outlines to save for applique cutting. Oh man, okay then. Well, I guess we need to select one. Well, they've made it easy. It's just one file to select. You can either click here on the grid, or you can click here on that line and select it. Either way, you're selecting this. And now we want to go up to the pen, and then this pulls up your cut file. Okay, so this is it. And notice it says save cutouts, JPG or SVG, and then there's an inflation factor. Well, I don't want anything inflated, so I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And then SVG is the format that I want to use for my Cricut. You can do JPG, so for Silhouette or Brother or whomever, if they don't use SVG, you can use JPG, but I'm going to do SVG. So it's already selected. We're going to hit save cutouts. And then it says applique cutout file. Front has been written to my desktop. So it's there. That's it. All done. All right. So I have my cut file for the front of the purse. So now that I have that, I'm going to do the other part to the purse. So this was the front, what we just cut. Look familiar? Now we're going to click here. Here are the little straps that go to the purse. We do need to make die lines of that, but I'm going to skip that today because that's going to be a bit much. And then we'll do the back. So here's the back, and that's the fox shape. So we'll open this now. And there we have it here on the screen. So we're going to select it either by clicking here on the grid or by clicking over here on the color stop. And then we'll go up to this pin right here on the edge. And sorry about it going in and out. We'll click that pin. And once you click that pin, now we're going to save the cutout. We're going to save it as an SVG. And it's telling me the back 01 is saved. That's a wrap. So that is done. Now for Cricut users only, far as I know, Cricut users only, leave this open. Leave your So What Pro open, and I'll show you why. All right. So I'm going to go back over here to the laptop only because it keeps me from having to cross my arm. And I'm going to minimize this. And so I'm back at my desktop, and I'm going to open up Cricut Design Space. Okay. So here we are at Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to go New Project. And I'm going to go Upload. And I'm going to upload image. And now we're going to browse. And you remember it was saving everything to my desktop. So I want to make sure I select my desktop. And I'm going to pull this down and browse all of the files, SVG files. And as we remember, our pattern was 868B. Is that a B? Yeah, that's a B. Can't see because I'm far away from it. So here's the back, and 86A front. Here's the front. So I'm going to click on the front first, and I'm going to hit open and make sure that this is the shape that I'm looking for, and it is. So this was the front, and we're just going to hit save. All right, so that's done. I'm going to ignore this for right now, and I'm going to upload image because I want to cut both of them out. Okay. So I'm going to hit browse and make sure that I'm at desktop, which I am. Pull this down. And now we'll go to the back. 868B and the back. And we'll open that. And there's the fox shape we were looking for. How cool is that? Already set where we need it to. And we'll save that. So now that we have both of those purse pieces, I'm going to click and select the front And now I'm going to click and select the back so that both of these are selected. And now we're going to say insert image and put it on to the Cricut canvas. Now, this thing comes in absolutely, and if we click on one, look at the size of that. 20 inches by 28 inches. That is not the size this is supposed to be, stupid Cricut design space. All right, so let's fix that. So this is the back. So you see the shape of the ears and stuff. So I have it selected. And now what I'm going to do is go back to Sew It Pro. And here is the back right here. And I'm going to look right here and check out the size. 5.82 wide by 8.14 high. 5.82 wide. Yeah, the screen is going to blur a little bit. That's why I hate showing screens with the cell phone with the camera, because it's not going to act right. So I apologize. Is it super fuzzy? Let me know what all you missed, so that I can go back over whatever we need. If we missed something, missed a step, whether it be Cricut, whether it be Sew It Pro, let me know what step we may have missed that you couldn't see, rather. Because right now, all we're going to do is go to Sew It Pro, and we're going to look at the size, which is up above the thread stops. And we need to take note of the size, 5.82. Can't read anything on the screen, just following the instructions. Yeah, and that's the downside of trying to show a screen with a phone. It really doesn't mesh well. Reading computer screen is blurry. Okay, but for the most part, hopefully you can get the gist of where I'm going with this. I apologize because, again, we're dealing with a difference of equipment because my plan was to share screens with the other camera, and there was too much lag there. So we got to go with what we got. But if I come here and look at the size, it says 5.82 wide. So you have to come back to Sew It Pro to get the size of what you need for your cut file in Cricut, because Cricut Design Space is not wanting us to be great. So I am using the Cricut Cricut Air 2. I think is what it's called. So I'm going to go to the size. I have the back part selected, and I'm going to the width size where it says 20, and I'm about to change that to 5.82. And I only have to change the width because it's automatically going to make the height the size it's supposed to be, relative. It's the relative size, and that's what it's supposed to be. And you can confirm that because right here in Cricut, it says the height is 8.143. And when we go to Sew It Pro, it says over in the size 8.14. So it's close enough to get us where we need to be for this cut file. So we need to do the exact same thing for the front piece. And the front piece is 4.59 wide. So we have to go to Cricut, Design Space, select that front piece, and change the width to 4.59 wide. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Let me double check. 4.59 wide. 4.59 wide. That is correct. So now on Cricut, both of our pieces are the size that they're supposed to be. So that's how you get your sizes. And here are the two pieces that we need to cut out with Cricut. So, again, I apologize for you're not being able to see the screen that well. The way technology is, the camera screen doesn't pick up a digital screen very well at all. Whether you're looking at a computer monitor or television, whatever, it just really doesn't come through and compute like it's supposed to. But we have our pieces set up, and we have the front and the back cut files. So now that I have them in Cricut, I can save them, and that way anytime I want to make this purse again, the sizes are there like they're supposed to be, and I don't have to worry about not being able to get my sizes right, or having to go through all that drama of determining what the right size is by opening up Sew It Pro and all of that stuff all over again. So we're going to go ahead and save this as a fox purse. And then now what we'll do is go ahead and send this to the Cricut machine. So before I do that, I do want to point out that what I've done is I have gotten a new Cricut mat. This is a new Cricut mat. And when you're cutting like leather or fabric or something like that, I wouldn't suggest brand new, but I would suggest really close to new, relatively new. All right, because you want to have a nice surface to hold on to your fabric. All right, so I got a new one, and I'll show you why I got a new one. I probably shouldn't show y'all my junky stuff, but so here are my Cricut mats, and I keep all of them. My new ones are down here. My used ones are here. And my kind of used ones are here. The newer used ones I'll hang right there. But these mats are, you know, I could possibly use this one because it's not super beat up. But right now, for the sake of this video and to keep from having to cut something again, I decided not to use it. But I keep all of my mats. I have my very first Cricut mat ever. I still have it. Because I never know if there's something I may need to cut that's a low tack item, and I don't need all that super sticky that's on a brand new one. So here's a brand new mat. I do have that. Now, when we cut out these pieces on the Cricut, you have to cut out the leather pieces, one of each one, the one of the front, one of the back, and you need the lining, one of the front, one of the back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's send this now to the Cricut machine. I'm gonna go ahead and do that whole process so that it's set up and ready. Now, cutting the leather, I cut leather on bonded fabric, and let's go to that and I'll show you what I mean. Here's my beat up, well used, absolutely love my baby Cricut machine. And this is the setting that I use, is right here, bonded fabric. Okay, so I turn my dial straight down to bonded, and it cuts the leather just fine. I have a regular blade, nothing special, nothing fancy, and it cuts through the leather. So, you know, for folks that aren't being able to cut through their leather very well, I don't know why, but mine cuts through leather really well. And I keep my blades clean, but I don't sharpen them or do anything extra special with my blades. All right, so let me see. It is 8:49. Not bad. It feels like I've been on here 2 hours already. That's how stressed out I am. Okay, so let us go back to Cricut. Send this over to the Cricut machine. Let's see how Cricut is going to line these up in our cutting mats. Okay, so here's our templates that we need to cut. Look, this is what's up. We can do both of these on the same mat. Praise the Lord, because it's irritating to me when I have to do two different mats. So we definitely want to get the size of the leather that we need. It's going to have to be an 11-inch piece by roughly 8.5, but I'm going to say 9. So an 11 by 9-inch piece. Okay. I don't need to mirror anything, which is cool. And I'm going to need to cut out 2 of these. Remember, because we're going to have to cut out one for the lining and one for I may have to do 2 pieces anyway because of the size of my lining fabric. All right. So for right now though, let me take this. Matter of fact, we're going to put you on the tripod. And then that way I can quit moving y'all all around and getting on your nerves. And you can see better. Come on. Get down in there. Oh, I know what's wrong. There we go. All right. So, did I do this right? Yes. Yes, I did. All right. So, here is our leather, our mat. Here's the Cricut mat. So let's take the cover off. And we said 11 by 9 at the most. So I know this piece on this end, let's see. Let's make sure this goes all the way to 11, and it does. So I'm going to, and look, it's already made my dang mat dirty, but whatever. Now, when you cut this, you want to make sure that the strongest surface that will adhere to this is what's face down. You want to use the sticky on your Cricut mat to your advantage, right? So putting the fabric on here fuzzy side down is not going to be used to our advantage at all because the fuzz doesn't stick solidly to the sticky. So we're going to turn this over. All right, and we said 11 by 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. Now I'm going to overlap it a little bit just to make sure that this is good and covered. And as we see, it's entirely too big, so that's good. I don't have to worry about anything with that. And smooth it down a little bit to make sure that it sticks to the mat, okay? So we want to make sure this sticks on the Cricut. And while we put this on the Cricut, we're going to prep our lining fabric, okay? So I'm going to stick this on the Cricut. And I'm going to tell it to cut. All right, and while that's cutting, all right, I'm going to show you guys this awesome stuff, right? So here's your lining fabric. And what a lot of folks, you know, they complain about in cutting fabric on a Cricut, that is just difficult to cut fabric on a Cricut. Well, you can cut paper easily, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this fabric into paper, which is really cool and easy. I do that. I'm going to get this iron hot. So I turn my iron on and I'm going to show you our pieces are cut out. Just that easy. Just that easy. Told you it can be cut. So here's our leather. That's the front. This was the front of the purse. Here's the back. All right, and I'm gonna set this right here for right now. And you may get little situations like this. Okay, that's gonna happen. We'll just cut it, snip it a little bit. The majority of it was cut out, so I'm happy with this. Just to finish this right on off and get that going on around. So I'll snip that, and I'm gonna set that over there with the rest of the leather. And here are our 2 leather pieces that were cut out with the Cricut. All right, you saw it for yourself. So for our lining now, though, our lining fabric needs to be cut as well. All right, so what I do, I found this stuff at the I'm trying to tear it up. I found this stuff at the Everything Embroidery Market. It's called Terrio Magic Fabric Stabilizer. You might have heard of it before, not sure. Hopefully you have. If you haven't, we'll see if we can't find a link to where it is somewhere and list it on Amazon. I mean, listed in the description below. Hopefully there's some on Amazon. I don't know. But the merchant that I purchased this from, she doesn't have a website, unfortunately, for you to go and just purchase it directly from her, which was kind of sucky. But, you know, that was her choice, and I have to respect that. But this stuff is really, really, really cool. There are other fabric stabilizers out there. But what I liked about this was it gets the fabric stiff. But after a few days of it, you know, being stiff and done, then it goes back to feeling kind of like fabric again. So, and it washes out really easily, and turns it right back into feeling like fabric. It doesn't stay stiff and papery. I love that about this. This stuff was like really, really cool. And I used it with my last purse that I made. All right. So, it is on Amazon. Use it all the time. Sweet. I'm glad to see that there are others out there that can. So we'll have to link this in the description of the video below. But this Terrio Magic, man sakes alive. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wet this fabric. And it's just a few squirts, just like that. Nothing major. All right. If you want to smooth it through, you can. No biggie. And now we want to use a hot iron, no steam. We want to put a hot iron on this. And it smells good too. Now, I probably should have put a cloth over it, because what's happening is the iron is direct contact on this stuff and it's turning it white. So that's my bad for you guys. I apologize. I knew that, but forgot. Because I made white stuff on my purse that I did the other day, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to remember to put a thing over it, and forgot again. So for the viewer who I was talking to on Facebook, and she says, you don't make any mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. All right. So that's the first. It's getting a little stiff. See how it's big difference from what it was, but I'm going to go ahead and do the back side as well. And I'm sure the more we spray on there, the stiffer it'll get. All right. So let's get this in there. From what I understand, you also can just let it air dry. You don't have to iron it. But of course, this is speeding up the process, which we need right now. So here we are pressing our lining fabric so that we can cut it out easier on the Cricut. Now, you don't have to cut this out on the Cricut. You could have cut it out by hand, but this is the way we're going to do it. So that's Magic. It's a fabric stabilizer spray. Terrio Magic. All right. Terrio Magic fabric stabilizer. Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. Once you wash the item, it's going to go right back to feeling just like the cotton fabric felt before we even did this. And now look, now we got a piece of paper basically, barely flexing, barely moving. And again, as I mentioned, I'm sure if I, hit this with the spray again, it would stiffen up even more. But this is good enough for me because I just need it to be like paper. And this is kind of how paper is, a little floppy. So let me check. We said that this had to be 9 inches down. Yes, and it is. Okay, so that's good. So 11 by 9 is what I needed this to be to cut out the same template pieces. So this is going to be bigger. And because our Cricut mat needs to roll in and out, I'm going to have to cut this. It's like starch on steroids. Yeah, pretty much. That's an excellent description, actually. Starch on steroids. So I'm going to cut this. This stuff also works great for applique. Perfectly for applique. If you have issues with your applique getting wrinkled when you're doing applique fabric on your projects, just stiffen up your fabric with this stuff and it will make all the difference in the world with your applique. Your applique will not be wrinkled, all right, because you've stiffened it up, you've made it straight. So now that we have this is not bonded fabric. Okay, so as I showed you with the leather is thick, so we put it on bonded fabric, but we kind of made this like paper, and it's not quite as thick as cardstock, so I personally wouldn't put it on cardstock, but possibly light cardstock. So I'm going to actually put this on light cardstock, and it may be still too heavy to cut this out. But that's where I'm going to, you know what? No, I'm going to put it on iron on. And the reason why I say that is because this is even thinner than my holographic vinyl, and I cut my holographic vinyl on iron on. So I'm going to put it on iron on. All right. And oh, look at this stupid thing. The camera is just messing with me today. I know what the setting is for leather because I do it all the time. But this is fabric. On a silhouette machine, you should be able to, because from what I understand, a silhouette uses cut files too, but you may have to change what the cut file is. I don't know. I've never used the silhouette, but from what I understand, they can use cut files. All right, so see, it's paper. It's not it came up just a little bit right there, but it would have really come up if this wasn't stiff. See how it's okay? See how that's doing right there? That's what we were trying to avoid. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take this out. See how that fabric came up like that? That's what we did not want. Okay? We did not want that at all. So I'm going to smooth that back down. And I'm sure I didn't smooth it much. Matter of fact, let me pull that out of the way. And I'm going to make this cut again. And that's probably not a good idea. Matter of fact, let me take this out. Okay, so there we got this to cut out. Was that mistake number 14 for tonight? I do make mistakes. All right. Okay, so here's the lining for the back. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because I don't want, I'm gonna put this back on the Cricut and I don't want it to mess up the cut on that. Let it cut just on the mat, but I'm going to because I really don't care. I got more mats back there, so I'm not really worried about it. So it's going to act like it's cutting out this first piece again, and hopefully this other part is going to stay down. But that's why I said a new mat or a newer mat. You want to, you know, make sure that it's got a good grip, a good solid grip. All right, there we go. So let's see if it's still trying to come up a little bit, but it stopped. So, all right. It was still trying to act up on me, y'all. But that's why it made all the difference to have this thing stiff. See, it still kind of wanted to not cut right. So that's where the stiffer the fabric, the more like paper, the better. And that way you don't have to worry about that drama. And it saves you money because that keeps you from having to buy the Cricut mat that says it's for fabric, which is the super tacky mat. It's more expensive than your standard mat. So come on, camera. I don't know why this thing is acting up, y'all. But that saves you money on having to get that super sticky mat. So we have our pieces cut out, and it was cut out with the Cricut. So don't let anybody tell you that fabric can't be cut with the Cricut or leather can't be cut with the Cricut. It can. You saw for yourself today. Here's your lining, and here is your outside leather parts. Okay, so now that we got this, all right, now that we got this, let's go ahead and see about starting the actual embroidery process, right? So I'm done with Cricut, so I'm going to close Cricut out and get out of that. And as I mentioned earlier, there were one more file that was supposed to have been cut out with Cricut, but it's just rectangles. So, and you didn't need a lining for that one, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, the first step that we're going to do for this purse is the front. And to refresh your memory, on what the front was. The front was the part with the fox's tail on it. I don't know how well you can see that, but this part here. So this is our first embroidery that we're going to do on the machine, and it has 5 steps. Okay, so the first step is going to be our placement stitch for the leather. Second step is to tack down the leather. Third stitch is all of the details. Then we're going to use this to put the lining in place, and then this is our final stitch. Okay, so I'm going to send this design over to the embroidery machine, and we're going to use Blessing, the multi-needle, and get her to humming today. Thank you for telling me that about the hat. I appreciate that. I really do, because today is one of those days. Let me see. Here we go. This is the back and this is the front. So let me drag that over to the embroidery machine. Actually, that is not what I need to drag to the embroidery machine. Whoops. All right. Now let's drag the right thing over to the embroidery machine. 2/8. So this is the front. And then this is the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and put both of them over there so that they're there. But and then let me switch this and get you guys back looking at the embroidery machine and not my. Yes, you can also interface your fabric first and then cut. I mean, either way, the whole point is stabilizing that fabric, which is what you want to do. Ultimately, the goal is to stabilize the fabric, okay? And stabilizing it is what's going to make it paper-like, so that, number one, your Cricut mat can hold on to it like it's supposed to, and number two, it can cut like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mighty hoop on. I already have the stabilizer on there, and we're going to go and pull up the front. All right, and we're going to set that, and I'm going to leave everything the way it's supposed to be. The only thing I'm going to do is switch up my colors. Number one is black, so I'm going to, Lord Jesus, y'all, sorry. I'm going to swap that color. And then number one is red, and I don't want that. I want red to actually be the red. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so the first thing we want to do is our placement stitch. So let's go ahead and do that. And I also need to point out that with this, because it's a pocket and the front and the back is going to be seamed, you want to have the same color bobbin thread as your top thread. And the other reason I picked this particular design is because the decorative stitching on it is black. And I want most of my visible stitching that, y'all, that's with this particular machine, with the single needle machines, usually it stops automatically with the next color so that you can change your own color. But with the multi-needle machines, it's like, oh, we already know the other color you want, so we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep going. And so you have to tell it to stop. And I forgot to do that. But at any rate, I do have the same color bobbin thread, black, because that's the majority of what we're going to be using. So here's my placement stitch. Now I need to get the leather. And what I'm going to do is use some adhesive, spray adhesive. I moved that out some, and I'm going to use the spray adhesive to help hold this in place. All right, and anytime you use spray adhesive, you want to do like a really quick spritz. You don't want to do a whole lot. All right, so just really quick. and then I'm going to put this in place right on those lines, okay? And I want it to line up as much as possible, evenly all the way around. All right, so now that we have that, now it's going to do the tack down stitch. And the tack down stitch, ironically, was wanting to do red. I don't want that to be red, so we're going to make it black over here. And I have reserve stock so that it'll hold it in place. Actually, I probably could have done red because it matches the thing. Yeah, Sheila, someone else is buffering. Someone else is buffering. All right, let's see, buffering. Yeah, that's because I'm moving the camera, moving around. You know how that goes. Charlene says, thank you for showing me this because I've been using heat and bond and I hate using it to make things with fabric is sticky, too sticky to sew. And yes, heat and bond, you can use that as well, but it can be a bit of a pain. But this Terrio Magic, you guys, this stuff is some really good stuff. And the fact is, it's not permanent. That's the other thing I really like about it. Heat and bond is permanent. This is not. So you can use this and then do the applique, say on a baby shirt or whatever the case may be, a baby shirt or a kid's shirt, you're doing the applique. Well, once that person washes the shirt, that fabric's not going to be super stiff like that anymore. It's going to soften it up some. So that's the other thing I really like about this Terrio Magic. And then too, I also wanted to mention this is leather we're stitching on. This is actual leather fabric, and we're using a 9014 top stitch needle. We are using a top stitch needle to do our embroidery today. Okay. So am I still here? Am I still here? Let me know so that I'll know whether or not I need to. I wouldn't even know what to do. I am? Okay, cool. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go back and make sure I didn't miss any other questions. No tornado warnings here that I know of, thank goodness. Does the purse design not have size to give it depth or more envelope style? This is an envelope style design purse. This is envelope style. Business edition or designer edition of Silhouette will accept SVG. Okay, that's cool. Good to know. Thank you. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Kathleen Holland, hello. Thank you for coming. Sheila, okay, sorry I missed your question earlier, Miss Sheila. Yeah, no, there are not sides to this purse. It's more of a envelope purse or like for a kid or something, or just, you know, to take little simple things with you. It's not like a full-on pocketbook, unfortunately. It's rather small, especially the one that I'm doing now. It's going to be pretty small. It really is. The bigger size, the biggest size is still not going to be too much bigger. It'll be bigger than this, but not by too much. So, you know. Maria, I can do this over a little bit. I was just trying to get some stuff live and show some things going on live. So, all right, y'all. Let me go back up. Is it still buffering, Miss Barbara? You may have to come back out and come back in. The size that I'm doing now is the medium size. There's 3 sizes to all of their purses. There's a large, a small, and a medium, and I'm using the medium. I'm using the medium. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. It's not buffering now. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. You're welcome, Josephine. I appreciate that as well. Of course, you know, it's really, you know, my thing is there's so much that we can do with our embroidery machines, more than just putting names on hats or names on bags. You know, there's a lot that can be done. And the whole point in our project tonight is to showcase leather and leather embroidery, and how easy it is. It's just like using fabric, really. And to also show that you can use a Cricut to cut your leather to get your pieces to be perfect, so to speak, you know, instead of cutting it out by hand. My intention was to do some leather earrings as well tonight to show on the 4x4 machine, but with the you know, internet messing up and lagging so much, it's just like, you know, I don't even, I've lost my excitement in doing all of this. It kind of, you know, bummer a little bit. So I'm not going to do the earrings, but we are going to finish this pocketbook tonight without the straps. We're not going to do the straps tonight. Reason being, number one, my leather scraps for that particular leather is not enough or long enough for me to get a solid one-piece strap. So I'll probably end up having to do a, you know, all black strap or something different for a strap. Yeah, I lost my mojo. That's funny. Yeah, I did, because I was just like, man, this is some crap. But the other thing is, you know, that's extra steps to do those straps on the pocketbook when I don't have to. For right now, this is just to show what we can actually do on the machine. So, yeah. Hey, Barbara Nance, how are you? I don't know that I said hey to you earlier, so I'm saying hey now. So otherwise, the Cricut is an excellent part to your embroidery studio. It really is. Linda asks, can you suggest a font that's a swirly purchase, Sarah, but don't like it for names? Have you done Stitchtopia.com? Have you tried Stitchtopia.com? Stitchtopia is one of my absolute favorite websites to get a swirly, I mean like super swirly, gorgeous, elaborate fonts for embroidery. And she has smaller sizes all the way up to 6-inch size fonts on her page. And I also have a referral code with Stitchtopia, A5E57, I think is it, A5E57. You can use that to get a percentage off of your first purchase if you've never purchased with them before. So Stitchtopia.com. And it's, I believe, capital, it might be lowercase A5E57, just to give them a shot. Girl, when I tell you, you're going to spend some money on them fonts, because they, I mean, you'll want all of them. You'll want them all. There are, especially Grace. Oh, Grace is like my all-time favorite font. That's one of my first go-tos when I do baby girl stuff, like blankets and stuff. Grace is my #1 pick to do fonts on my stuff. So, but at any rate, let's see what time frame we got on this puppy. We are at 5 minutes, and that's the fox tail getting stitched out here. Hopefully that's not too much movement for the darn lag and the signal. And you know what else is probably an issue is me switching back and forth with the camera. I just happen to think about that too. That back and forth is going to cause it to buffer as well. So I apologize in advance on that as well. You know what? If we're going to make this thing lag, let's make it worth it. I've had people ask me to do a tour of my studio. Would you guys like to see my studio? I cleaned up just a little bit. I cleaned up some. I'm still in the process of remodeling, but I'm like waiting until I get confirmation of my roof, and because they're gonna have to take the whole roof practically off, my entire roof, because it's that old, and then redo everything. So let me show you guys a little bit. Now I'm flipping, so hopefully it won't lag out on y'all when you can't see anything. But I will tell you, this is a it's a garage. All right, so here's my message board. I've shown this I don't know how many times, and there's my roll of stabilizer holder, and it's junky, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm telling y'all now, it's junky. I have a ton of Starbucks cups that I've been meaning to do vinyl designs on, and that's what's in that bag. haven't had an opportunity to work on that yet. There's my kids. I keep them up where I can see them at all times. Those are my babies, even though all of them are grown now. Crazy chaps. And that's more family kids. I made the custom curtains for my studio. And this place is so old, my windows are like swing out type windows. So to put the air conditioner in, I had to make my own glass up. It's crazy. I can't even show y'all that. It's crazy. And there's some storage, thread that I don't really use much. And these containers I got from Dollar Tree. These are Dollar Tree containers, and as you see, they display I love glass and clear stuff. Oh, sorry, Miss Beckham. That's why I was like, I knew it was gonna buffer trying to show y'all a tour. So sorry. Hopefully it'll come back. Hopefully it'll come back. But here are my clear containers that I got from Dollar Tree. Here. And thank you. I appreciate that, Lupe. That's my bag of hand sanitizers, which is ridiculous. Uh-oh, my machine stopped. Look at all them hand sanitizers. It's crazy because of the projects I was supposed to have been making. I'm getting rid of this. This is going away. These drawers, because I don't particularly care for plastic. So this is all going away. I'm not going to keep that. And of course, you know, Blessing is right here. That's the door, back door going out to my backyard and where my puppies are and all of that stuff. So this goes to my backyard. And my threads and stuff is here. And let's see why this thing has stopped, Father. Why? Why is you stopping? Blessing acting up right now. What's going on? Oh, that's why she switched. She wasn't supposed to switch. So, and I didn't hit reserve stop. Look at me, y'all. See, people talking about, you don't mess up. I do mess up. I mess up a lot. So, hold on. Let's get her fixed so that we can get this part of the pocketbook done. And then we'll continue with the tour. So, at this point, we need to put the lining on the back. And what did I do with the, oh, it's right here. So we're going to put the spray adhesive back here. And we're going to take this off. And we're going to put the lining right here. And line it up as best as possible. And as even as possible on the back. All right, and we'll put this right back on the machine. Make sure that your thing is pointed the exact same way that you, because especially with this hoop, it's easy to flip-flop it and then you done messed up. All right, and we'll put it right back on. I'm gonna feel and make sure my lining is still in place. I'm gonna back up and we're gonna go to black. And we'll let this finish out. So here's black, and we got, matter of fact, I'm gonna take that off. We got 2 minutes left on this. 2 minutes left. Thank you, Shamina. All right. Here is my thread board that is nowhere near complete. It needs a major overhaul because I have threads all over the place in storage that really need to be up here on this wall, and they're not. So that's a little bit frustrating that I do need to redo this. My television was up there, but I took it down for today's show. And here is my printer that I'm about to get rid of because I don't really print with this much anymore. And I have gift boxes where when I used to make stuff, I would put it in a gift box for people, but I don't do that anymore. So I really need to sell those off or get rid of them or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And there's my thank you card wall. So whenever people would send me thank you cards, I put them there. And of course, that's Sir McQuacken's. There's my sewing thread. This is all sewing thread, not embroidery. Sewing only. And here's my messy work desk, one of them. This is my printer that I've been printing with now. So here's my printer, extra thread that need to be up on the wall, my 4x4 and other stuff that I've been working on. I'm a vintage person, so I got a ton of vintage stuff. I have my canvases up there because at one point in time when I was doing baby blankets, baby bib, burp cloth, and the whole nine, whenever I did a baby set, baby blanket, bib, burp cloth, I was trying to get my daughter to do a painting to match it. She did in a couple of instances, but she got bored with it. So now I have canvases for no reason. Yay, me. So yeah. Extra thread and ribbon is here. Hey, Miss Social Deb, it's okay. No issues. Sewing patterns here that I absolutely never sew with. So yeah, spent tons of money on sewing patterns for no reason whatsoever because I liked them and thought I was going to sew. More sewing patterns here. The newer sewing patterns are in here. Never using them. This is travel supplies. So if I travel, that's where I would carry those two with me. Some other storage drawers with stuff in it. Usually this area right in here is my snack area. So that's filled with crackers because I'm bad about coming over here and not eating. I'll work and not eat. Ribbon for my binky leashes is right here because I was doing so many at one point that I have a special place for those. This is more mess and the TV is going to be in the way. But this is more patterns down here in this drawer, packed full of patterns. Manuals is over here, more stuff like that. And then back here behind the TV is more drawers with supplies. So here's my snaps and stuff. Here is more supplies and whatnot. There's our bell that we ring right up there. And of course, this is where I do my live broadcast. All right, so here's where I do my broadcast and stuff. Here's the Cricut table. My other embroidery machine is down here on the floor somewhere. And the other one is somewhere. I have an air compressor, more storage up under here. It's a little messy. I apologize again. I've been cleaning up. So I was getting all my electronic cords and stuff together to figure out what's what. But here's another little bulletin board station or whatever. And this is a pattern that I am determined at some point in time in my life, I am going to sew that dress for myself. I'm going to, and I'm nervous about doing it because I don't want to mess it up, because I know if I sew anything wrong on that and mess it up, I'm going to be really angry at myself. So I'm really looking forward to at some point making that dress, and I'm going to be super cute when I make it. And that's my babies again. So I love my babies. I enjoyed raising them. And of course the Cricut, that's one Cricut. Over here is the other Cricut, the other embroidery machine, paper and stuff that I need to get all of this rearranged. Oh, thank you, Lupe. I had fun making that. All right, so I'm going to show you guys now. This is the part that's you know, kind of crazier. Actually, you know what? Before we go out here, I'm going to explain something. My home, when I bought it, I was told that the home was built in 1949, I think. And the gentleman that built this home, he had it built himself. He added a lot of stuff, right? And so at some point in time, and I don't know how old this building is, this was his original garage. All right, so this was a one-car garage, and this was the apartment in the back of the garage. But when we moved in, there was tons of stuff in here. I mean, it was crazy how much electronic components, and because he worked for the power company, a lot of electronic components and stuff was just in here. It was junky. There was National Geographic's old, all lined up on those shelves. It was a trip. I went through a lot to clean this place up and out. But there's a lot that I still haven't taken out of here. A lot of vintage old stuff. I love antiques and I love old things. So I kept a lot of stuff, but there's still quite a bit in here that I didn't get rid of, like lumber and stuff like that, which I need to get rid of, but I'm just like, I don't have time. So at any rate, that's what I wanted to let you know ahead of time. So there's going to be some stuff in here that really isn't like the lumber that's up there that was already there. Is my camera dirty or something? Hang on, y'all. Let me clean this camera. Oh, hold on. Where did I put my scan and cut? It was down where the other Cricut was. It was behind the other Cricut on the down below the table, because I'm running that's the reason why I'm redoing all of this, because I'm running out of space. So here's my spray paint. There's my door into the apartment. There's my spray paint section. So there's paint and some vintage cans that he had here. Those are vintage. And look at the old TV antenna. He had that in here hooked to a TV. And I thought that was just like super cool. So I kept it. Just little knick-knack stuff. My duct tape section and just other stuff. I mean, I got stuff. I need to get rid of all of this, actually. Like the glitter. I'm not doing anything with glitter. Just supplies, random stupid stuff. And I have so much that is just all over the place. And I really need to clean up. But I'm redoing everything. So I have just crap everywhere right now because I've started redoing stuff, but I haven't finished. So here is part of my bling and tape caddy here when I need to grab my bling brush or my bling scraper is right here. Tape is in here. My lint roller is in here. This is where I keep my stabilizer. So up here is cutaway, stabilizer. What, I don't know what this one is. I think this is cutaway too. Oh, nope, it's tearaway. Here is more stabilizer in there. This is bling stuff, bling templates, bling stuff. I don't know what else to call it. It's just bling stuff. And here's my bling. So I keep all of my rhinestones in glass jars because I like to see my rhinestones. They're just so freaking pretty, and I just love to see them. So I keep them in glass jars so that it's easy for me to see them. And the smaller amounts I keep in smaller jars. I use a lot of red and a lot of clear, so that's why they're in the largest jars. And so I have bling everywhere and more supplies. And that's my baby that keeps me company up there. It's a cute baby. And my extras of my spray, because it was on sale, so I bought a bunch of them, and so they stored up there. Yeah, these are nice. I got those from Office Depot is where I got those. That's extra fabric that I need to get rid of and throw away because I'm not going to do anything with it. More Starbucks cups. Let's not talk about that fetish. And over here is my fabric. I keep them in bins. because of course we're in a garage. I don't want pests in the fabric. So I've gotten rid of a lot of fabric and I have a lot more I need to get rid of, but these are blanks. As you can see the straps there, there's book bags in there. You know, the backpack strap, backpack type. More fabric for like lining or whatever, or baby bibs or whatever, some book bags. This is where I'll hang my shirts and stuff. When I do them, I bling them, I'll hang them there, take pictures of them right here, and then put them up. Or I keep them to show people, you know, when they come into the studio and they can see the work that I've done. And as you see, it's a 1-car garage. So in the summertime, my parents put that there so that it can hang down and keep mosquitoes and stuff out. So that's why it looks like that. And I bought these just the other day to put stuff in. I have 2 of those, but anyway, it's junky because again, I'm trying to redo all of this crap. I really am. Because I hang on to stuff. I'm a pack rat a little bit. This is an antique chest here that I absolutely love. I kept it, so I'm using it for storage. And this is my chaotic mess, really, from the outside looking in. So as you can see, I got stuff everywhere. I should be embarrassed to show this, but actually at this point in time in my life, I'm not. My other heat press is right there. I don't use it quite as often as I should, but it's right there. I got some chairs for whenever aunties come over or whatever. My husband put me a AC out here. So I have a huge AC. This was in the house when I moved in. I loved it and kept it. My husband says it creeps him out. I don't care. So it's mine. That's vinyl storage where I've scrapped vinyl scraps. Here is my vinyl section. So all of this, for the most part, is vinyl stuff. So rolls of vinyl, and it is chaotic because I had a show not that long ago and was using vinyl and stuff. And so it's all over the place, but that's the scrap pile until it fills up, and then I put it in those plastic containers there. More bling stuff. Here are bags that I'll put customer orders in. Whenever I'm done with them. This is a new thing I just brought out here, so that's also the reason why it's chaotic as well. This is new. I move stuff around, so this is a workbench thing with a drawer to it and a pegboard built into it. This is new, so I've been trying to figure how to work this into what I got going on. So again, that's also why it's chaotic in here. This is another antique armoire thing that I was using for storage, and that's being converted to store some other stuff as well. My African fabric is in there and stays in there. Bunnies and bows. I need to destash, as whoever that was just now said. Yes, I'm gonna have to destash. Mailing stuff. Here's my mailing packaging section. As you see, tons of gift boxes that I really need to destash and find a new home for all of this. I really do, because I don't do gift boxes anymore. It really wasn't worth it. And for me, this is like my favorite part, because this is all kinds of goodies that I found in here when we moved in. Look at the old Coca-Cola and Sprite bottles. These were in here when I moved in. These are all old jars and cans and stuff that the guy had in here that I just fell in love with, the shapes of old vintage things and whatnot. So I kept it. These are actually jars of honey that we found in here, and the honey is still good. Don't even know how old that honey is. As a matter of fact, a couple of these jars, the honey maker isn't even in business anymore. But I contacted the family, and they were excited to find out we still had some of their honey, which was really cool because the father has passed away now. But this was really cool find. So I'm keeping those because it is still good. And up there is more vintage stuff. Look at the old cans of stuff that he had here. He obviously loved Sanka and Maxwell House from back then, and snuff and whatnot. But so I kept that stuff. And then there's ribbon that I barely ever hardly ever use and need to get rid of. And here are glasses for my bling parties for customers to drink out of when we do champagne. Here is my bling party section. So champagne glasses, bling brushes, more champagne glasses for the customers, gift, bags for them to take their shirts home in, like shopping bags, more bling supplies there. So that's that. And then here is my completed order slash t-shirt section, blank shirts. So here are blank shirts here. And then this box is for orders that are done. I put them in there, especially if they're not going to come right away to pick them up. I put them in there. And there's scarves, because I was selling the scarves for a while. And that's some of my customer left some stuff here for me if he wanted me to work on it. Hey, Reese by Veronica, how are you? We're doing a tour. And this baby right here is my Cabbage Patch. My mom bought that for me, and she bought it for me because I had a Cabbage Patch doll when I was little, kept it all of my life. Her name was Gina. She was the bestest Cabbage Patch ever. And about 5 years ago now, my mom called and she was like, your dad has stuff all over the house. I just walked in and there's stuff everywhere. I don't know what your dad was doing. And I'm like, Mom, my dad wouldn't, Daddy wouldn't do that. And she was like, no, but there's stuff. It's his tools and his stuff is all around. Like, Mom, that's not good. I'm coming. I'm gonna get out of the house. I'm gonna wait. Sure enough, somebody had broken into the house and stole a ton of stuff. And my Cabbage Patch was one of them that they stole. And so my mom was like so upset that they took my Cabbage Patch. She was on her head to find me another one. So she found me that one. And she never opened it or looked in it or anything. But she was like, I just had to get you another one. So when I looked at the Cabbage Patch and looked at her name is Eva. So I thought that was it was creepily ironic and really cool and sentimental. So I keep her out here with me. So that's my Cabbage Patch baby. Her name is Eva. So she's out here. And of course, this is a reminder for everyone who does come in and they want to complain about my mess. That's why I don't really care. I don't have to worry about it. I'm a trophy wife, so I don't have to cook or clean if I don't want to. So, yes, this is my chaotic mess. So I hope you guys enjoyed my tragic tour. So we're going to go back to our purse. Back to our regularly scheduled program. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. For those who missed it, I'm sorry. You'll have to watch the replay because I am not going through this whole place all over again. So that was kind of fun. Slightly embarrassing, but kind of fun. All right, so this is done now. So let's go ahead and take this off. We're finished with this part of the pattern. And as we see, this is the fox's tail. Now, there's a little bit of overlap here. And I would have preferred this to be right at the edge, but I'm not going to complain. It looks great. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. And we're going to get ready for our next part, which is the back of the purse, okay? So let's take this off. And this tears out just that easily. All right. And those tack down lines were supposed to come off too. So what I'll do is, clean this up, pull out the rest of this stabilizer. I'll probably trim a little bit closer to the line just to even it up and make sure everything's cool. But I very well could just leave well enough alone and have it just like it is. So this is the front. All right, so now let's get to the back. All right, so I'm gonna grab the tearaway and I'm gonna throw this away because I only have 2 hands. All right, and just this easily. That didn't do right. Hold on. I thought about not smashing my finger, panic, and let go. This is harder to do in the air than I expected. Hold on. Let's get this right. Probably need to put this down. But we're gonna try this again, y'all. Let's see if I can get it to work this time. No, it's crumpling. Hold on. I may have to set this down, y'all. Sorry, off camera. I'm gonna have to set it down. Let's see if I can turn y'all around to see what's going on with it. Okay. Do better this time, please. If my hand can quit getting caught, it'll quit holding. There we go. All right. Let me tearing it up. That's one thing about these dang mighty hoops. The magnet is so strong. You have to be really careful. There we go. All right, now we got it. I'm gonna put this back on the machine. Let me turn you around. Why is this thing leaning? Lord Father. All right. All right, so we're done with the front. Now let's pull up the back. It's telling me it's too low, which we already knew, so it automatically turned it to the side, which is fine. And it's centered and everything, so I don't have to do anything dealing with that. So now it's going to do our placement stitch for the outline of our leather. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it just to stitch the outline and stop. And I want it to be in black, so it's already at number 2. So we're going to do that now. And I'm going to grab the leather for the back. It's a light coat on the back of that. Read it out quick. Oh no! How did you do that? I must need to clean it out. It skipped the stitch. All right, so our placement stitch is down. And I'm going to pull this forward so I can get to it easily. And I'm going to put this within my placement stitch lines. Okay. And now it's going to do the tack down stitch. And I'm going to tell it to stop. Actually stitched out absolutely perfectly. So now it should go to, yes. So now we're to the actual stitch out of the design. So it's already on our black thread. So I'm going to tell it to go ahead and stop after this. So it's 21 minutes of stitching. So let's stop. Tell it to stop after that and tell it to go ahead. So while that stitching switched over, while we let that stitch out, and hopefully we won't have any issues while we're over here waiting to put the lining in place. Oh man, an hour and 32 minutes. That ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. Chaotic mess is something that I've always thrived in, and I probably shouldn't, but I do. So I thoroughly enjoy it out here. My home is detached. This is not connected to my house at all. So when the big bay door goes up, that's going out to my front yard, my front driveway. I have a circular driveway, and then my home is right beside it. And then my husband has a workshop garage on the other side of the property. And in his garage, there's a workshop space, and then there's a 2-car garage section. So that's where we park our cars. So we did use this as a garage for a hobby car I had, and then I ended up getting rid of that car. So he was like, you can go ahead and take it, you can have it. So I decided to turn it into my workshop, and that was 3 years ago now. So I came out here. This was all, like, if you see the wood paneling up there, the walls were all that color. So what I did was I just came out here one day, cleaned it all up, cleaned it out, and got some glitter paint and got the painting. So I painted it all out here, and slowly but surely everything started coming together really well. I have a few before and after pictures, not a whole lot, and definitely absolutely loved it. I did not stop using the Scan and Cut River City. I actually haven't technically started using the Scan and Cut yet, because what I've been doing whenever I get jobs like my bling designs and stuff, and I have to cut all of that stuff out, I'm going with what I'm used to and what my habit is. So I have to learn how to use the Scan and Cut, and I haven't taken the time to do that yet, because I've been trying to learn how to create bling templates first, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot going on, as far as trying to get everything out here together, get videos done and edited, get embroidery jobs done, get bling jobs done. It was like every time I had a breather to sit down and actually learn something new, I would get an order or I would have a request for something. So it's like I really want to learn how to use it. I love the machine, but it's a learning curve. I'm used to Cricut, so now I'm gonna have to learn something else. Hey Jalil, thank you for joining this evening. I did a tour of the studio, so they got to see that. And we're making a purse, leather purse tonight. So that's why I'm still on tonight. So, but I love I'm just in love with my Scan and Cut from the fact that I have it. I know what it can do. And I got it at a great deal. I just need to learn how to use it properly. You know, I've used it, but I haven't used it to its fullest potential. So that's where I'm like, oh man, I really gotta get into it. And then again, I bought into Rhinestone designing software. I have yet to use that. That was, you know, software that I've kicked out for. So I'm hoping to have a break after May. I'm hoping to have a break after May because I was supposed to start traveling to you guys in March, but then the way the weather has been, we really haven't had a winter yet here in Charlotte. So my line of thinking is usually when it's like that here in this area, our winter comes late. Whenever we don't have it early, then we'll have it late. So I'm afraid if I start traveling in March, then we'll get snow, ice, all that jazz. So I decided to put that off. And then I'm taking the opportunity to possibly go to the Everything Embroidery show and teach in May. So that's in Kentucky. So hopefully I'll be in Owensboro, Kentucky, May 3rd, 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, I think it's May 2nd and 3rd for Owensboro, Kentucky. And hopefully be teaching Sew-It Pro out there. That's the plan. But after that, we have to get our traveling schedule together. And my biggest problem with the travel schedule was charging for the traveling. Charging for traveling. I don't want to charge to travel, but I have to charge to travel. So I don't know how to do that. I don't know what's fair. In my opinion, then that's just me, and I could be overthinking something that's really simple. But so what I kind of decided to do was, instead of traveling, possibly, now this isn't a definite, but instead of traveling, do the cruise and have a huge meet and greet on the cruise. That was part of the plan. So we'll see how everything goes after May. After May, because I have to pay to go to teach the class in May. And so after I do that, then we'll see what plans we can come up with and where we can go. I definitely need to get back to Houston area. I haven't ever been beyond Houston, so it would be a lot of fun to go to the West Coast, Seattle area. I have family there. It'd be fun to go to Seattle. I haven't been to Detroit in a while, so it'd be fun to go to Michigan. I have family in Illinois. It would be fun to go there. Family in Nebraska, fun to go there. So there's a lot of travel that it would be a lot of fun to do, but getting the funds together and figuring out a price point in order to travel, that's where we are with that particular thing. So really quick, for those of you who are here, who has signed up to learn more about the cruise? Who all is excited about the cruise? I know I am. I would also like to put out there, if you're interested in a class in anything, any type of creative, custom type craft. So I did get a request for jewelry. We'll look into adding a jewelry class, possibly. We'll see. I had to talk to a couple of teachers, find a good teacher for a jewelry class. Vinyl, as I mentioned, we'll be doing vinyl. We'll be doing embroidery. We'll be doing screen printing. We'll be doing hold on, embroidery, vinyl, Cricut classes. I'm thinking soap. Someone asked about soap. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this, and would love your input of anything that you may not have heard me mention. Would you like to have a class in? We're also looking at setting up a more intimate class at a price point. Okay, so you'll have your regular cruise price. That's just to be on the ship. That's to go to the general class, which is going to be a large group setting class. But if you like a more intimate one-on-one type situation, we can have that at a different price point. So we're looking at doing that. Silhouette, knitting, scrapbooking. Oh, I didn't think about scrapbooking. Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool. Scrapbooking would be cool. Candles. Somebody else asked about candles. Somebody else asked about candles. So, you know what? I need to write this down. Like Jalil knows, I'm bad. If I don't have it texted to me or emailed to me, I will forget. I will forget. The website is customcraftcruise.com. Customcraftcruise.com. So it handles vinyl scrapbooking. And what we're hoping is for the smaller, more intimate one-on-one type things, you can email me for the website. That's not an issue. Other than him saying get back to him. Oh, Rhinestones was the other class we'll be having. That's what it was. Other than him saying let him know dates and whatnot, that's the farthest that went. So you're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm hoping the agent told me that we will have complete final information by Tuesday, because I wanted to be clear what I'm expecting. Can I tell you where you got the glitter paint? Now glitter paint, I think it's Rust-Oleum, I think sells glitter paint now where it's already mixed, but I mixed my own. Actually, I found a light colored paint, and then I bought chunky glitter, not like, I'll say small chunky, and then there was also some glitter flakes that you could buy, and oh my god, I dumped so much glitter in that paint, girl. It was crazy. I mean, it was a ton of glitter. I didn't realize how much glitter it would take, and I had glitter everywhere. All right. So coming off that roller, glitter was flying. It was hilarious. But that's what I did. And it actually turned out really cute. I only put glitter on 2 walls. And then the other, wait a minute, or was it 3 walls? 2.5 walls I put glitter on, and the others are just plain. So I made it myself. I actually got some chunky glitter and mixed it in with my paint. And it turned out super cute. Because I got like a what is it called, like iridescent, not iridescent, it was like a unicorn candy apple looking, not candy apple, cotton candy like colors, like mermaid stuff, like green and pink and silver is all mixed in with a bunch of silver. I had a ton of silver, but that's how I did my paint. And I want to redo it and make it even more glitter, if that's the thing, but I think I'm just gonna leave well enough alone with that and stick to organizing. That's what I really need. I need an organizer. Oh, and a business class actually is going to be on the ship as well, for helping folks get their businesses up and going, answer questions, that type of stuff. Business class. I'm gonna write that down because I keep forgetting to tell y'all the stuff that's going to be on the ship. So that's where we are. But the whole thing is, the whole affair is going to be about craft and crafting. Because there's a really good friend mentioned to me, she said sometimes our spouses, significant other, or family members, they don't understand the crafting lingo, you know, so it's fun to be in the company of folks that understand your lingo, you know what I'm saying? And so to be able to say, oh man, you're Miss Social Dev, hey Miss Social Dev, you know, and see you in person, get a hug, we can all sit down, we can talk about our crafts and what we do, you know, get to know one another. That would be, I mean, I'm just like so excited about this thing. It's a fool, because it's like I'm really looking forward to being able to get everybody together in one place and we all have a really good time. I first became a I've always been a crafter. I've always been a crafter. My mom and her sisters were crafters. Jewelry making, I did mention that earlier. Jewelry. My mom and her sisters were crafters. So, I mean, for stuff like whenever I had projects in school, me and my mom would go over the top. Like, I always got A+ and extra credit on my school projects because I was always making it extra crafty. It was always something like, for instance, one of the projects we were supposed to do in the 3rd grade was we were supposed to find poems that we liked and make our own poem book. You were supposed to copy the poems out of the book. But the twist was you had to illustrate the poem yourself. Okay, so what me and my mom did was, in addition to me drawing some of the pictures, we actually found pictures through that we had taken throughout my life and before, and we put that in the poem book, and I got extra credit for that because it was unique. Nobody else did it. So it's just little stuff like that. Science fair projects were always off the chart. And I've done some of anything, honestly. With crafting, I've done jewelry, I've done embroidery, I've tried knitting. Knitting and me don't mix. Crochet. I've done hook latch. I don't know who remembers doing hook latch rugs and stuff. God, what else? I've tried my hand at painting, art, drawing. I'm not good at that. I can draw a mean stick figure, but that's about it. Abstract, I'm excellent at. I can do that really well, actually. Sewing, I tried my hand at sewing clothing. Wasn't the best at clothes, but I'm trying to get there. Tried quilting. Me and quilting didn't get along too well. I mean, I can't even, there's so much I've done craft-wise throughout my life, and with me raising my kids, I did the same thing with them. That's one thing that they definitely remember, is we used to make stuff and craft stuff all the time. So I had a lot of fun with my babies and making stuff and crafting stuff. So, you know, that's always been in my blood. So by the time I got to my early 30s, early mid 30s, and we came here, I had done so much. Yeah, that's old school. I've done so much, started so many different businesses, doing so many different things. And my husband was like, you know what, if you can just pick one business, and stick with it, I'll support you wholeheartedly, because he knows I've had probably 40 businesses in the time that we've been married, or tried to start 40 businesses, doing different things. And for whatever reason, I got hooked on embroidery. I came across Walmart had a Black Friday sale about 4 years ago on an embroidery machine. I heard it running out of thread. They had a Black Friday sale on an embroidery machine, the 4x4. And I was like, oh, that's cute. That's a good price. I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it just to see, you know, I've never done embroidery, so I'm going to give it a shot. And that's how I ended up getting into embroidery. It wasn't, you know, out of necessity, or I was already doing something, or whatever the case may be. It was because the machine was on Black Friday sale. So I bought the machine, and when I purchased it, it sat for 6 months because I was intimidated. Never touched it. And then after 6 months, I pulled it out and tried to use it. And when I tried to use it, it didn't go over too well at all. Actually, it was quite embarrassing now that I think back. So I decided that I was going to learn how to do embroidery. I had this stupid machine. I had bought it, paid all this money for it, and hadn't done anything with it. So I was determined I was going to learn how to use this machine. Well, it wasn't easy at all when I set out to learn. As a matter of fact, a few of the videos that I looked at, they were, I guess, the more helpful videos that would have helped me faster. I had to pay for them. There was a lady that was charging to teach people embroidery and the business. And, you know, bless her, she had a business, a very lucrative business and whatnot, but I couldn't afford that. So I was trying to go the more affordable route. And in the more affordable route was going on YouTube, and a lot of the videos weren't very detailed, or they would miss steps, skips and stuff. So It took a long time to piece all the information together, but once I started piecing information together, I'm like, I can show people how to do this. And that's what I started doing, and that's partially how I started doing videos on YouTube, between finally figuring out how to do it and learning Sew It Pro and trying to teach others Sew It Pro. That's pretty much how I got into teaching embroidery on Facebook, on internet, on YouTube. So long story, sorry about all of that. I know it was probably boring, but yeah. Have you ever seen male and female tuxedo and dress set wall hangers made out of face towels? I make those. Looks really nice. I wish I could post a picture. I wish you could. You can post a picture in the hoop group. It doesn't have to be embroidery. We don't mind seeing crafts, so that's not an issue. You can definitely post it there if you're in there. Diane Henderson, I taught painting for 5 years. That's cool. Maybe you can teach me something with painting. That would be fun. Because I can't paint to save my life. If somebody came and was like, we gonna kill you dead if you can't paint a picture, I'm like, dude, you might as well kill me now, but I don't know how to paint. Dorothy Gaston, I did that too. My daughter had a science project. We had fabric, grass, rocks, and plastic insects. She got an A. I'm trying to tell you, when you do just that little extra and put that extra in it, it's a lot of fun. They tried to bring it back by using t-shirt strips. It does make it softer, but it isn't new like the youngsters think. I know. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So I'm sure it's been done before. I'm trying to find a hooping station for my brother, PE 800 hoops, which I recently got. So bell ringing. Oh, hey, any suggestions? I want to hoop polo shirts and need lots of help. Hooping station, there's a generic hooping station that you can get from, oh man, John Deere. If you Google JOHNDEER, he has a hooping station that he promotes. Hooping stations are not inexpensive, but they are helpful. Let me see if I can pull him up. D-E-E-R-E? No, E. D-E-R. Nope. Is it D-E-R-E? Whoop! Our thing is done. I probably should have did embroidery. Embroidery. Digitizingmadeeasy.com, I think is it. Hold on, let me click that. And that's his legacy. Yeah, yes. So if you go to digitizingmadeeasy.com, you can email me too, and I'll send you the link. Digitizingmadeeasy.com. He has a hooping station, ECHIDNA hooping station. Is there a price on here? I don't think he has. Oh yeah, dude, it's $500 if you get both. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? That's the hooping station there. That's the small one for small stuff, and then the larger one. And you use the magnets to hoop anything, you know, keep your magnets to help you keep your stuff hooped correctly. And he had them actually showing how it works at the Everything Embroidery show. So, you know, it seems to be pretty decent. I haven't looked into having a hooping station yet. So it'd be easy to, I mean, it would be interesting to look into it, but it's digitizingmadeeasy.com for a hooping station that's not like the Mighty Hoop hooping station. So, and any hoops can be used with that particular thing. Thank you for Miss Bickham for telling me I'm never boring. I appreciate that. Do I make my own in the hoop designs? I have made a couple of them, not a lot. I don't really have time to be that creative, unfortunately. So there's a lot I haven't done. Which machine am I using for embroidery? It's the PR655 brother, 6 needle PR655 entrepreneur. Thanks for the Sew Up Pro videos. You have helped me so much. You're welcome, Andrea. I appreciate you telling me that, because Sew Up Pro videos, it can be involved. It can take a lot, and you're like, ooh, I wonder if people can get it, because it can be a fool. Our thing stopped. She said, take a Bob Ross class for painting. The ones I have been fun. That would be cool. Bob Ross is awesome. I remember him from when I was a kid. Used to sit there and watch him. Okay, so where we are now, it's wanting to do our little tabs for the hook straps. And you remember I mentioned I'm not going to do that with this particular project. I'm just going to leave just, it's basically going to be like a little teeny pocketbook, but with no straps with this project. Okay, so let's skip this. So I'm going to fast forward past that. And then it also has the other 2 parts to it. I'm going to fast forward past that. So now it's asking for the lining. All right, so we're going to put the lining on there. And then after the lining, it's going to finish the purse, okay? So let's go ahead and put the lining on there. So I'm going to, Sheila Cushionberry, cool. I look forward to you asking questions if it's something you need to know about it. Because here's our lining. So we're going to go ahead and put our spray adhesive on it to make life easier. And we're going to take this off, flip it over, and put this in place and cover up those stitches. All right. A little bit. Okay. We'll put this back on. And let's stitch that lining in place. We're going to tell it to stop after that. Oh man, what am I doing? This is the wrong thing. Sorry. Let me make sure my lining didn't move. I don't want it to be number 3. I want it to be number 2. Now we can do it. And while this is going around and tacking that lining down, thank you, Miss Carol Coleman. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And I also want to say thank you to those who are doing the donations through PayPal as well, because that is phenomenal. And I don't get to say thank you during the show, which I understand, but it's just amazing, the support from you guys. I absolutely love it. Thank you very much. Lord knows it's needed. With all the stuff I got going on. Now, when I did this, a different version of this purse, I did not do spray adhesive on here, because my thing is finishing the purse, and I didn't want, I did not want the sticky to be on the inside of the purse. So you know what, let's do it the way I did it yesterday. And I didn't do this purse yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. What's today? Today is Sunday. It was Thursday, Friday, and the first part of Saturday I did that pocketbook, and it took forever. Okay, so now we're going to finish this. All right, so what you do at this point is you take this last part and you line it up. This is the front of our pocketbook. And when we're done, this is going to flap over and cover this. All right, so one of a couple of things I want to point out that they did not point out with this pattern is I could have, and had I been thinking, I would have put a snap here before stitching the lining down, backside of the fox, and I don't want it seen. And put a snap here before, well, I could put the front part of the snap here because the back on this one would be on the inside of the purse, so that one wouldn't matter. But the one here, I could have done it, and I didn't. So what they also suggest is you get the sew-in magnet closure, where I guess you could kind of like sew behind the lining and not go all the way through the leather, and attach a magnetic closure here. So I will address that. I did not put a way to close this as far as a snap or something. Number one, because I forgot. And number two, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. So I wanted to make sure to point that out before we finished. So here is the back of the purse. I'm sorry, this is the front of the purse. And we want to line it up to make sure everything is good and even. So what I'm going to do is the final stitch out is actually going to go all the way around this whole purse. But it's not going to stitch anything in here because this is done on both sides. So to hold this in place, I can pin it, or I can tape it down, but I'll have to pick the tape out of the stitches. I could use the spray adhesive, but what I'm actually going to do is pin it in place. But when I pin it, I'm going to pin it from the front, not from the back, because I don't want the ball to get caught on this part while it's stitching around the outside. So to keep that from happening, I'm going to put the ball on the top, and I'm going to pin this in place from the top. Okay. So I'm being kind of careful, and I could have stabbed myself, I know. But I'm going to stick this through and pin it from the front. And then I'm going to double check and make sure that I didn't move it. And I did. So I moved it. That's the other downside to trying to do this from the front. You can definitely move it, and then it kind of spoils everything. I'm going to line it back up. I may end up taping this instead of doing it with the pins, because the pin can be a bit of a pain. Okay, it didn't feel like it moved that time, so there we go. All right, so let me check. All right, that looks like that's in place. So maybe we'll do good. That one pin hopefully will hold it. So we're going to take a chance. It's mine anyway, so if it looks retarded, it is okay. All right. Okay. So now let's finish it. Yay! Sorry. Celebrating early. So now we're going to go ahead, and it's going to take 8 minutes to finish all the way around. And have us a leather fox purse. How about that? I didn't know how that pattern red was going to turn out. I didn't know if it was going to be cute or not. So I kind of like the way it's turning out. Good night, Miss Deborah. Miss Beckham, I did think of doing the tape. I did mention that, but I'm not worried. Me personally, I'm not worried about the holes because it's mine. But if I was doing that for a customer, that would be something to keep in mind, is not to pin it, because it is leather, to keep from having holes in it. But I'm personally not worried about it. But tape can be used. What kind of glue or something do you suggest using to attach a few gems bling to your fabric to jazz up your embroidery project? Very new at this. Thank you for any suggestions. Hi, Paula. Thank you for your question. It depends. If your fabric, like that leather, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but if you were using a heat resistant or like cotton or something like that, you can use heat press stones, and you don't have to have glue. You can just use a heat press or iron to attach the stones to it. Otherwise, if you do want to use a glue, I've told E6000 works, and Gem Tech I've been told works really well, which I have both actually. So I have Gem Tech right here. You can use this, which I heard this is better than E6000. Don't know how true that is because I usually use heat press stones, hot fix stones, and here's the E6000. So you can use either one of these to get your stones attached to your project. Let's see. Yeah, double-sided tape. Double-sided tape isn't a bad idea, Catherine. Now, that was a good idea. I didn't think of double-sided tape. Probably should have been just hanging right there. Rescue tape. Let me show you. Could have used that. Very much so. And then reached in and pulled it out afterwards. But I forgot about it. I forget about the double-sided tape. Baby Booty and Hoop Group the same page? Yes. Yes, it is. So if you go to thebabiesbooty.com and you click on join the hoop group, then you'll be able to get into the hoop group that way. We used to have the hoop group on, oh man, it's after March. No, I said March. Did I say March 1st or March 31st? I'm supposed to shut down the Google Plus group because it's, Google is shutting it down anyway. So I was going to close it down early. So everybody moved over to the actual The Baby's Booty website. So let's see where we are. You guys is doing the edging. Turning out super cute. I'm excited. Super excited. Yes, Miss Debbie Kid, I'm still on. We're trying to get the purse done, and then of course with the lag that I was having earlier, it just threw everything off. And I said we were going to do a purse. I was going to do a purse tonight, so I knew I was going to be longer than an hour tonight. But that's part of the reason why I don't really like to do projects during my live, because it takes so long. It takes so long to get stuff done because it's always something that's going to go wrong. It never fails. Something is going to mess up. So I prefer to do projects in a more controlled environment and do them on video. And then too, I don't have to worry about lag. No, he's not out of town. I'm sure he's at home frustrated because I'm not back. But I did tell him I was doing a a project tonight. So the purse is at urbanthreads.com. Urban, URBANTHREADS, urbanthreads.com. Yes, that's Murphy's Law. And if you do urbanthreads.com and you type in the search box purse, P-U-R-S-E, it'll pull up the fox, it'll pull up an owl, it'll pull up a really cute, kind of like bohemian looking purse. It'll pull up a really cute floral purse. They have a lot of purses that are really cute on Urban Threads. I love their stuff. And I had the other purse. I made one and was going to show you the purse that I made because I posted a picture of it on Instagram, but I took it in the house and I don't have it out here, so I couldn't show it to you. But if you are connected to me on Instagram, The Baby's Booty on Instagram, you'll be able to see the purse of that purse on Instagram. So I was just trying it to see. Where do you purchase the leather? There is a Facebook group that I'm a part of. It's called Carolina Leather. Carolina Leather on Facebook group. On Facebook. And that's where she offers leather scraps for sale at an excellent price. Oh my God, her prices are crazy. But what I'll do after the live and after it finishes uploading and rendering, I can add the link to the Facebook group in the description below. But actually, I have a link in my last live. Actually, I'm pretty sure I got the link to her page in the last live. And that's that, you guys. We're done. Ta-da! 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 Oh my God, can you tell I'm tired to make it crazy? Start acting crazy. All right, so we are done. Yay! Let me move this. Man, her leather is, whoo, she's got good leather, and she'll, you know, you can see what she has before you actually purchase. So let's go ahead, and with that size fitting a 5x7 hoop, I don't think the medium one will. I think it's the small one that will fit in the 5x7 hoop. But I can go and look at the measurements here in a sec and let you know for sure. For sure. Black tearaway probably would have worked better with this to make sure that there's no white. But the cool thing is, if you are sneaky, very sneaky like myself, you could use a marker and, you know, touch up this white stabilizer that's hanging around, or take your time with some tweezers or something and get all of this stabilizer out. But at any rate, so here is our Foxy purse. Let me throw this down. I just vacuumed and here I am throwing all over the floor again. Super cute. OMG. Look at there. Look at his ears. How adorable did that do? I don't know why that didn't click that he was going to do. Like, he's so cute. Him's a leather purse. See? Like I said, it's kind of small. It's more envelope style. It's not made for a whole lot of knickknacks and stuff, but you can put like change, money, keys, small set of keys, or paperwork, your driver's license, your credit card. The strap we would have, and again, I don't have the other purse out here with me, which I can take y'all in the house with me actually, since I'm mobile and I can show you in the house. But the other purse, I put the straps back here that you would have attached. I skipped those steps on this purse. So there were two straps that would have attached right here with a D-ring at the top of it. And then you make your straps from that. If I had have done that step, I did not, because that would have made this take even longer to do. So that's why I did. And I didn't have enough of the red to make a long enough strap without sewing two pieces of leather together. So that aggravated me. And I was like, okay, you know what? Forget the strap. So yeah. So yeah, well, right. With this one right now, it's a clutch, but that's cute. I didn't even think about naming it like that, child. That's so smart. So yeah, it would be more of a clutch because I did not put the strap attachments back here. But that's how easy it is to embroider leather, and how easy it is to cut the leather out on your Cricut or your Silhouette or your Brother Scan and Cut. Because especially with these guys, they actually gave you the cut file, the die line files that you would use to cut it out. And what I'll do, because the first doing the video without it being on the computer, and it was so difficult for you guys to see the screen and read the screen, when I redo this video, God only knows when that's going to be though, unfortunately. But when I do redo the video, I will show you that even if you buy one and it doesn't come with those die line files to make it easy to cut the stuff out, then I'll show you how you can make one yourself, okay? And how to select the right file to create your actual cut file out of Sew It Pro, and using the applique cut pin at the top and make an SVG out of it. So here is our little Foxy bag, our Fox pouch. Thank you so very much for joining me with that this evening. What do you guys think? I appreciate, I saw several of you say it was cute. And him is cute. I didn't expect that red pattern leather to turn out as cute as it did, but it really did. I love the ears. That's just like my favorite of the whole thing. It's the little ears sticking up. So if you make one, please put your picture of your project in the hoop group. I would love to see it. Wouldn't be hard to just embroider front and back and skip the stitch together and cut a long rectangle to go around and satin, go around and stitch front and back, and then it would. I mean, yes, technically it would. You could do all of that and save steps and everything else. There is, but for those who may not be as forward thinking, so to speak, it lays everything out step by step to kind of make it simpler for those folks. But yeah, and yes, a gusset could be added to it if you know how to do that. Not everybody knows how to add a gusset. No, they don't. Not everybody. So, but this was fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And as I mentioned, if you take a moment and go to Instagram, and what I'll probably do is post a picture of both of them in the hoop group. So if you're in the hoop group, you'll get to see what it looks like when the straps are added to the back. Because even with the other person, I still didn't make the over the shoulder strap part. I just did the attachments here where I could clip on a strap or add sew a strap on later so that you can see it. Miss Lisa, it is a lot of fun. I will say this, it's extra expense. Okay, so one thing I will say, be careful what you wish for. Because what I didn't realize, or I didn't think ahead of time, is usually it's better to use the larger cones with the multi-needle. So the larger cones are more than the smaller cones. So that's an extra expense. Your stabilizer, generally you'll need bigger stabilizer for your larger hoops. So the small cut squares, aren't gonna cut it anymore. So you'll need to look into that. Also, instead of just one needle, you have 6 that you have to replace and maintain. Um, it goes through bobbins very, very quickly. So you have to keep that in mind. So there's a lot of extra expenses with a multi-needle machine that I really didn't think about when I was on the hunt to get one. And when I was finally fortunate enough to receive one, I was like, wow, I didn't think that far ahead. Oh my gosh. And so it's a big difference from the single needle. Would I go back and not get this? Nah, no way. Say I'm gonna have my baby every single time I'll get her. But it is important to understand there's extra costs involved with the multi-needle machine. Is not just, and then you got your stand. You got to get extra, like your not mighty hoop, but yeah, mighty hoops. They got extra attachments that you can buy that adds to the expense. As someone else mentioned, the maintenance on it is a fool. Fortunately, when I purchased this, there was a deal where I got 2 years free maintenance on her. So as of July of this year, any maintenance after that will come out of my pocket because she'll be 2 years old then. So, but up until now, she's ran like a champ. I haven't had any issues out of her. She's an awesome machine. Wouldn't have it any other way. Absolutely love this multi-needle machine. Yes, for sure. So, but please understand there is extra expense involved in these things. Yeah, Sheila Cushionberry, that's a really smart. That for an older look for the little girls, this would be perfect for that, so that they could, strap on their little person and look super cute. And that's actually what I was going for when I decided that this was going to be the project that I was going to do for live, and make a couple of them, because I have a couple of little girls that go to church with me, and I wanted to give them little purses. that they could carry and have, you know, because I'm not gonna carry a little purse, not right now anyways. So I may make the smaller one of this and put it in my, you know, in my purse, and put change and loose change and stuff like that in it. But as far as like to actual carry as a clutch or something, I do good to carry a pocketbook. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I am not gonna lie about that. So someone tried to get me to get one. They told me only $250 a month, but they don't embroider. Who don't embroider? Lisa says 10 by 6 is your largest, works fine, just not as fast. I think this would fit in your 10 by 6. Chain strap would be cute, Miss Debbie. Oh my God. That would be cute with this. Yeah, because when I went to, I'm going to show y'all something. Let me show you. And then what I'm probably going to do, since I'm on my phone, no, I'm not going to do that because I know my phone and it's going to act up. Your questions about hoop sizes versus embroidery area. I did a project, rotated to fit. Yeah, no. When you do hoop sizes, your hoop size is not true, which is unfortunate. Okay, so your true hoop field, you need to know what that is. And usually, like in my brother machines, it told me what my true hoop sizes were. Okay, so like for instance, my 4x4, and it also helps too if you know metric, you know, and can convert it to metric. But your 4x4 or 100 by 100, your true embroidery field is not 4x4 at all. Actually, it's more like 3.8 something, 3.86 or something stupid. So yes, you are restricted by your area that you can actually embroider in. So when you go to purchase a design and it's larger than 5x7 and you try to make it fit, it's not going to fit. You'll have to resize it. And you can use Sew It Pro to resize with, you know, you can use that and make it work. But she said pretty. That will be pretty. Oh, cool. There you go, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Creative Kiwi has an explanation about your embroidery field. So that would be helpful. But I'm going to show y'all. This is what I was going to do a different leather. I was going to do a tan leather to make the fox with tonight. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make a strap. And this isn't the first strap I did. This is the second strap I did. Oh, I know what a first strap is. I threw it away. So this is how my first strap turned out. Okay, so I was putting 2 long strips of leather together and sewing them down, straight down the sides. I've made purse straps before throughout my life. Okay, so the little bit of sewing experience I do have, I can sew curtains, I can sew purses, I can sew bags, I can sew pillows, I can sew blankets all day long with my eyes closed. I know how to do a straight stitch. Okay, but this was a fool. So either I needed my walking foot, because you see how it went wavy on me and like, you know, trashed it. So either I needed a walking foot or maybe the leather was getting caught. But this leather was also stretchy in comparison to this leather. This leather did not stretch at all. So I'm sure that had something to do with it, which I think the walking foot would have made a huge difference. So, you know, the strap part was a pain tonight. So that's why I was like, okay, yeah, chain would have been much better because this was trash. And I was not happy with that at all. Y'all, I was so mad. It didn't make no sense. And I was like running out of time trying to prep before the live tonight. And I wanted to make sure, not that I had everything together, because that's not what I try. I don't try to have everything together. But some prep work, I was trying to get it done so that when you guys came live, that cut down on some of the time, because like we're right here at 2 hours and 30 minutes already, and I didn't want to keep y'all way late like that. So And then too, I know my husband. But at any rate, that was tonight, you guys. Lighten up the pressure pudding dough, sew both sides in the same direction. I didn't sew both, or did I sew both sides in the same direction? I don't even know, because I was rushing. And that doesn't help either. You shouldn't ever rush a project, ever. Work. Okay? Every time you rush. And I know that firsthand, because that's why I don't really do sewing projects, because I like to rush my sewing projects and get them done, and I get too excited and can't wait. So I'm not good at sewing. But at any rate, not like clothes is what I mean. Clothes take time. The other stuff is easy. Curtains are easy and stuff like that. But clothing takes time. And I'm impatient. So, but at any rate, thank you guys for joining me this evening. It was a lot of fun, somewhat stressful, but it's all right due to the lagging and whatnot. But I want to thank you all that hung in there and came back and watched along as we stitched out the totally adorable Foxy purse, our Foxy purse tonight. Stitching with leather, number 1, a lot of fun. Learning how to cut with your Cricut and Sew It Pro, awesome fun, number 2. And how to take the die lines from a pattern and use Sew It Pro to turn it into an SV. Learn that I can lag out pretty bad when I'm not careful. So again, for those interested in cruising with us in May of 2020, please sign up on customcraftcruise.com. Please sign up so that we can make sure you get updates in the newsletters. We will have more information, more concrete information next Sunday during live, if not sooner. It will be sooner for those of you who have the newsletter sign up. But live, I will discuss it a little more in detail. I'm looking forward to you guys joining me on a cruise. That will be a lot of fun for those of you who choose to do so. Also, if you know others who craft, please forward the information to them. This is not just exclusive to the Hoop Group at all. We're trying to get crafters all across the U.S. to join in and sail away with us. We actually want to take over the ship with crafters, our crafting family. That's what we would love to do, is have a crafting family ship. So if you can go ahead and spread the word, I'd appreciate it. And let them know May of 2020 is the time that we go, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. You probably hit the like on the last video, my bad. If you'll hit the like on this one that we actually made it through, I would appreciate it. And subscribe to our channel. We do a lot of live videos and we have a lot of fun. Also, go to thebabiesbooty.com to sign up for the Hoop Group. If you're not in there already, you're more than welcome to post pictures of your projects and get updates on sales and inside information in our crafting and our hooping community, and stay up to date with each other, because you guys are total awesome salts. I love every last one of you guys. You keep me smiling. Janet McKinney keeps me on my toes. The fan mail, I absolutely enjoy and just adore the fan mail. It's a lot of fun, nice surprise. Very much to those few who have been sending fan mail. I definitely appreciate it. And I also definitely, Miss Carol Coleman, a huge support. And thank you, hearty thank you to you for the super chat that you did for me tonight. So thank you so very much. I thoroughly enjoy you all, and I look forward to seeing you all next Sunday night, 8 p.m. here at the Baby's Booty. So until the next time we see you, we want you to have happy embroidering. Have an excellent night, you guys. See you next week. Bye.